Hello friends, in this video we will be going to discuss about the 12 houses and their significations in Vedic astrology or Jyotisha. So let's get started. So there are 12 houses in Vedic astrology. So the first house is called the ascendant, or it's also called the Lagna. So these two charts are in the North Indian format. So I'll be mainly discussing the charts in the North Indian format. So there are other format of the charts as well, like South Indian format or East Indian format. But I'll be using the North Indian format. So the first house, this is the first house. This is always the first house in the North Indian format in this chart, and the first house is called ascendant or Lagna. And similarly, the second house moves in anti-clockwise direction. So if this is the first house, like this is the first house, so this will be the second house, and then it will move anti-clockwise, and this will be the third house, and similarly to the 12th house. And so the first house could be of any zodiac sign. So in this chart, the first house zodiac sign is Aries, but it is not always the same. Like some charts, the first house will be Aries, and in other charts it could be something else. Like in this second chart over here, the first house has the sign Cancer. So Cancer is the fourth sign in the zodiac list, like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. So in this second chart, the first house sign is Cancer, and then the second house sign will be the zodiac sign just after Cancer. It will be Leo. So the second house zodiac sign will be Leo, and similarly the third house sign will be Virgo. Similarly, it goes on. So yeah, this is the basic information about the houses, the different houses, and the different zodiac signs present in the houses. So whenever you see a chart and you will see a number in each of these houses, and that number is actually the zodiac sign of that house. So this will always be the first house, and this will always be the second house. This will always be the third house. This will always be the fourth house. But you can have different numbers over here. Like this can have number 4 or number 5, number 6, and similarly, if this has number 6, this will have number 7, and so on. So that means, like, if this has number 6, then the first house Rasi or the first house zodiac sign is number 6 is Virgo. So similarly, it goes on. Now let's look about the definition or signification of the first house. So what first house signifies is about yourself. So we can say, we can denote first house as I am. Means it denotes your identity, your health, your physics, and your personal outlook, like how you look, what will be your height, what will be your strength, and your physical, how will your physical body be, and what will be your complexion. All these things are denoted by the first house. So I've written down the keywords and then signification over here. So it also denotes the head, your head, and your appearance, your complexions, your health, and in medical astrology, it denotes your physical body in general, and also your head, and some marks or moles in your body. Your complexion means your skin texture, and your longevity is also, like, since it denotes your physical body, it is also linked with longevity. And since it denotes head, so head is also related to sleep. So we can say that this can also secondary, like sleep can be a secondary signification of the first house. And since it denotes head, it also denotes brain and hair in your head and your stamina. And the significator planet of the first house, as per the Vedic astrology or Jyotish, is sun. So sun signifies the first house. Now let's move into second house. So this is always the second house in the chart, the yellow highlighted house over here. So what second house signifies is your finances, your food, your family values, or your family. It denotes family. So mainly it denotes the wealth of your family. So we can say that second house means some kind of I have. So what you have, your finance, your wealth of your family, and then the second house also denotes your fish, and your speech. And since it denotes your speech or mouth, it also denotes food that you take from mouth. And then since it denotes speech, it also denotes whether you speak the truth or you speak false, like truthfulness and falsehood. And it also denotes your eyes, mouth, and face, and also like your voice. Since it denotes mouth, it also denotes your voice. And since it denotes food, it also denotes your taste, like what kind of food you like, what kind of taste you like. And then also it also denotes the early education, like since it denotes family, so it also denotes the early education that you get from your family in your childhood. So in medical astrological term, it denotes your face, your mouth, since it denotes mouth, it also denotes your teeth and tongue, and your oral cavity, your nose, nails, speech, and eyes. And for eyes, it denotes the right eye. And the significator planet for second house is Jupiter. Now the third house. So third house is basically related to communication, and like communication and learning. So we can say that third house means I think. So what you think, what you communicate, and what you learn. And it also denotes your neighbors and short journeys. And also it denotes your younger siblings. And it also denotes your hard work, like whether you are hardworking or not, whether you are courageous or not, and your mental strength, your communication skills, your creativity. And in a medical term, like it also denotes your throat, your ears, hands, and arms, since it denotes courage and hard work. So it denotes your hands, like the hard work normally is done by hand. So it denotes hands and arms. And it denotes your short journeys, like the ninth house denotes the long journeys, so it's just opposite to the ninth house. So third house denotes short journeys, your neighborhood and communication, as I said. And in terms of communication, it can be like speaking or writing or business documents, and fine arts as well. So yeah, I have written here that it also denotes the expenditure on vehicles and house, because it's the 12th house from 4th house. So this is a concept of house rotation. So this is one example. We can have multiple such examples from different houses. So there's one concept, like the 12th house from each house denotes the expenditure related to that particular house. So for example, 4th house denotes vehicles and the house you purchase, your home, and your vehicles you purchase. And the 12th house from 4th house, like if this is the 4th house, as if you take 4th house as first house, then the 12th house from this house is the 3rd house. So this house denotes the expenditure, like since 12th house denotes expenditure, then the 3rd house denotes the expenditure of 4th house. So and the 4th house denotes vehicles and homes. So we can say that third house can be linked to the expenditure related to the fourth house. And in medical terms, it denotes ears, mainly right ear, neck, throat, shoulders, hands, bones, upper limbs, mental instability, physical growth, longevity as well. And the significator planet, the main significator planet for third house is Mars. So since Mars denotes hard work and courage, and then younger siblings as well, but we can say that the Mercury, we can also include Mercury as the secondary significator planet of this third house, because Mercury deals with communications. So since third house is related to communication as well, so we can say that Mercury could also be a significator of third house. Now fourth house. Fourth house means your home, your mother, your family, your real estate, vehicles, and your emotions or emotional security. So we can say that fourth house can also be said as I feel. So the feelings, mainly related to feelings. And then it also includes agriculture and farming, gardens, and mainly the immovable properties like your house or real estate, buildings, your mother, your motherland, your childhood. So this second house is the early childhood, and fourth house is like after the early childhood. And it could also include the primary education, like your primary education in your school. So that can be denoted by fourth house. And your happiness, since it denotes the feeling, so it also denotes happiness, comforts, pleasures, and peaceful, your state of mind, your peacefulness, and your heart. So in medical terms, it denotes chest, lungs, hearts, breast, and potent medicine. And the significator planets for the fourth house are Moon, Venus, and Mars. So since Moon denotes your feelings, your mother, and then Venus denotes your luxuries and your like vehicles, properties, and Mars can denote your motherland, and also it can also denotes land, like the land you purchase. Now fifth house, it can be said as I will. So it denotes creativity and your education, the education, your secondary or higher secondary education, or your education, bachelor's level educations, even master's level. So the higher the education level, higher than master's level, like PhD level education is denoted by the ninth house. But for the fifth house, you can say that the higher education up to master's level can be denoted by the fifth house. And it also denotes love affairs and your children. And also it is also linked with the your past life. So it is the purva punya of your past life, means whatever good deeds you did in your past life can be signified by the fifth house. And it also, since it denotes creativity, it also signifies intelligence, your learning, knowledge, your analytical skills and scholarships, and your knowledge of mantras and prayers, your devotion to God, and your love, affection, emotions, and your judgment. And also speculation and gambling is also signified by fifth house. And as a medical terms, it denotes your upper abdomen. It can be also linked with heart, belly, liver, gallbladder. Since it denotes creativity, it can also be linked with mind and mental illness. And since it signifies children, it is also related to the problems related to pregnancy. And the significator planet for fifth house is Jupiter. So sixth house means I serve. So it deals with the service, the day-to-day service that we do. It can also, since it denotes service, it can also relate it to the health sectors, And then the day-to-day work that you do, the service you provide to others, and the conflicts. It also denotes conflicts and your disease that you get. And it also signifies enemies, the oppositions of yours, the competition, servants, subordinates, and relatives, mainly maternal uncles and maternal aunt, your mental tensions. It also denotes debt, injuries, health diseases, accidents, mental afflictions, your loans and debts and losses, obstacles, disappointments, humiliation, theft, quarrels, court cases, etc. And in medical astrology terms, it denotes intestines, also eye disease, poisons, accidents, operations, etc. The significator planet for these are Saturn and Mars, since it denotes competition. And so competition is related to Mars, and services or servants or day-to-day work or even court cases are related to Saturn. Seventh house, it can be said as eye balance. So it's like seventh house is related to marriage. So marriage or partnership. In partnership, you have to be for a long-term partnership or for marriage, you have to balance the relationship. So it's mainly deals with balancing whatever it signifies. So mainly it's marriage, partnership, contracts, and also open enemies. It denotes marital life, your spouse, sexual intercourse, your passion related to happiness, your partners. Partners can be in any field, not only life partner. So it can denote business, and it is also called a Maraka house. Means it gives you different troubles and different obstacles and different pain that could feel like the worst pains. It could give the worst pains that could feel like death. And in medical terms, it denotes the portion of the body below your navel. It denotes lower urinary tract, anal canal, your semen, your prostate, and sexual intercourse as well. And the significator planet is Venus. The eighth house means I want or I desire. So it denotes sexuality. Since seventh house also denotes sexual intercourse, and eighth house also denotes the sexuality and transformation, and it also denotes secrets, anything secret or anything hidden, and also it also denotes the longevity. And sixth house denotes the disease that can be like cure, like short-term diseases, and eighth house denotes the long-term diseases, the chronic diseases. It denotes obstacles, suddenness, so unexpectedness. So this denotes sudden things, like accident can be also sudden thing, like accident can also be linked to this, and like lotteries, they are also sudden things. So lotteries can also be denoted by this. Inheritance can be denoted by this. Dowry, so sudden, those are also related to sudden things. And occult studies, those are hidden things, like hidden talents, studying psychology or studying, like doing some research work. So to take out something from the hidden, those things are denoted by the eighth house. Hidden talents, your intuition, like for example intuition, that's to figure out like something from the hidden. And the spiritual pursuit or spiritual attainments, evils, gifts, and unearned wealth. So mainly unearned wealth means like dowry or lotteries. They are denoted by the eighth house. And in terms of medical astrology, they denote external genitalia, chronic disease, loss of limb, longevity, cause of death, and mental anguish as well. So depression, anxiety can also be denoted by the 8th house, and the significator planet is Saturn. Now let's look into 9th house. 9th house can be shared as I understand. So it denotes philosophy, religion, travel, mainly long distance travels. The short distance travel are denoted by the 3rd house, and long distance travel are denoted by the 9th house. And higher learning, like either you learn different scriptures or even like PhD level of education can be denoted by 9th house. 9th house also denotes your fortune, your luck, and it also denotes teacher, your boss, or some say that 9th house denotes your father, but as per my understanding, it denotes some kind of father figure. The father is denoted by the 10th house. Since mother is denoted by 4th house, the opposite of 4th house is 10th house. Because of that, father is denoted by the 10th house. But 9th house, since 9th house denotes teacher, your boss, so they are like kind of an authoritarian figures, so whom you respect. So you respect your teacher, you respect your boss, you respect someone higher authority. So that kind of someone who is like your father, that can be denoted by the 9th house. It also denotes religion, how religious you are. It can denote spirituality, your culture, philosophy, higher studies and higher knowledge. It can denote, so since it denotes long distance travel, we can say that it denotes foreign travel. Also religious trips, pilgrimage, your worshipping, religious worship, and past life as well. And then in the medical terms, it denotes your hips, thighs, and nourishment. And the significator planets are Sun and Jupiter. So Sun is linked to the father figure, like teacher, boss, your any father figure. And Jupiter is mainly related to religiousness, spirituality, and higher learning. Now the 10th house, it denotes I achieve. It can be said that I achieve, means it denotes career, your status, your authority, your achievements. So since it's the 7th house from 4th house, it denotes your father, your growth, your profession, your career, your source of livelihood, your action, your ambition, government, your conduct in society, fame, your status, your self-respect. And in terms of medical astrology, it denotes your knee joint, your kneecap. And the significator planets are Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. So Saturn denotes your career, Jupiter denotes your society and your status, Sun denotes government and also father, and Mercury denotes commerce or business, whatever you do. So because of those things, these 4 planets signify 10th house. Now let's look into the 11th house. So 11th house means I know. So basically it denotes your friendship, your social circles, your aspirations or gains. It signifies your elder co-bonds, your elder brothers and sisters, the income that you make, the gains that you make, your friends, your social activities or social networking, your social groups. And it also denotes your fulfillment of your desire and the nature of your earnings, the source of your earnings. And it also denotes your profits, rewards, recognitions. And in medical terms, it denotes ankles, legs, left ear, left upper limb, recovery from disease as well. And the significator planet is Jupiter. Now the 12th house. So it denotes I believe. So it means it denotes your spirituality mainly, and isolation and subconsciousness and ending of something, and your expenditure as well. So it denotes losses, your expenditure, punishment, imprisonment, hospitalization. It also denotes pleasures in bed, misfortune, bad habits, your sleep, meditation, privacy, miracles, donation, heaven, left eye, fate, is away from your birthplace. So it means like foreign settlement. And it also denotes moksha, that means liberation or self-realization. So it denotes spiritual learning, monastery, temples as well. And in medical terms, it denotes sleep disorder, mental imbalance, left eye, fate, hospitalization, death. And the significator planet is Saturn. So these are the list of planets that signify each house, which we have discussed in previous slides. So the first house is signified by Sun, second house significator is Jupiter, third house Mars, Mercury, fourth house Moon, Venus, Mars, fifth house Jupiter, sixth house Saturn and Mars, seventh house Jupiter, eighth house Saturn, ninth house Sun and Jupiter, 10th house Sun, Mercury, Jupiter and Saturn, 11th house Jupiter, and 12th house significator is Saturn. Now let's look into the categories of houses. So there are different groupings or categories of houses. So one kind of grouping is kendras or quadrants, or also it's also called angles. So they basically denote the life, or mainly like the houses that are linked to the physical side of life, not the spiritual side, mainly the physical living side of life. So they are the first house, fourth house, seventh house, and 10th house. So first house is your self, your physics, your body, whole body. Fourth house is your home or your house, your land, your mother, your feelings. And seventh house is your spouse, and also business partnership. And 10th house is your career, your status, your achievements, etc. So these are all materialistic thing. So mainly the Kendra house denotes your materialistic things in your life. So if there are good planets in the Kendra's houses, then your materialistic life will be good. Now trikonas or trines or konas means they are mainly related to religion and dharma. So they are also called dharma houses. The kendras are called karma houses, and these are called dharma houses. So dharma houses means first house, fifth house, and ninth house. Because first house is yourself, your body, and fifth house means the scriptures that you learn, the mantras. The fifth house also denotes education, and similarly ninth house denotes spirituality, not religion, mainly not spirituality, but religion and temple, religion and gurus, your teachers, and also higher education. So because of that, the trikonas or trines are mainly related to religion and dharma. And we have another grouping called upachaya. They are mainly related to growth, prosperity, and competition. So these houses are 3rd, 6th, 10th, and 11th. 3rd, 6th, 10th, and 11th. So third house is related to hard work and communication. Sixth house is related to competition. 10th house is related to your career and ambitions. And 11th house is related to your gains and wish fulfillment. So if good planets are over there, if favorable planets are over there, then you'll do good in competitions, or you'll be hardworking, you'll do good in competitions and do good in your profession. The other grouping is Dusthana, trick houses. They are the negative houses. So they are 6th house, 8th house, and 12th houses. These three houses are called Dusthana because like 6th house also denotes disease and loans and debts and your enemies as well. And 8th house denotes sudden changes, your accidents, chronic diseases, anxiety, depression. And 12th house denotes hospitalization. It also denotes death. It denotes expenditure, losses. So because of those negative factors that they signify, these houses are called Dusthana houses. So if planets are in these three houses, then they also give those negative results from those houses. Because of that, these houses are called Dusthana houses. And there is another grouping called Maraka houses. They are second and seventh. The seventh house and second house are also called Maraka houses. So they are kind of blockers, or they are fatal, and they give you a lot of pain and a lot of blockage in anything you do. And there is another grouping called Panapara Saksuden. They are related to wealth. Mainly they are the Kendras from the second house. So means like if you put second house as the first house and then count the Kendras. So the Kendras house are first, fourth, seventh and 10th. So if you put second house as a first house, then the first house will be the second house, and the fourth house from second house, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth house will be the fourth house from second house, and the seventh house from second house is the eighth house, and the 10th house from the second house is the 11th house. So second, fifth, eighth and 11th houses are the Panapara houses, and they mainly deal with wealth, how much wealth you can gain. And the Apoklima houses, president's house, they denote expenses. So they are the Kendra's houses from the third house. So they are third, sixth, ninth and 12th house. Now let's look into the different Bhavas, or this is also called this is also a grouping of houses, based mainly in Vedic astrology. The houses, there are 4 Bhavas grouping. Bhava means house in Sanskrit, but we have 4 different groupings of these houses. So one is Dharma Bhav, the other is Artha Bhav, other is Kama Bhav, and other is Moksha Bhav. So the Dharma Bhav grouping has first, fifth and ninth house. I also explained this in the previous slide. So they are mainly related to religion, and the purpose of these houses are to find a religious path and purpose of life. The Artha Bhav are 2, 6 and 10th Bhav, second house, 6th house and 10th house, and they are mainly related to acquire wealth. Artha means wealth, and then acquire the wealth to fulfill the purpose of life. The Kama Bhav means pleasure and enjoyment. So these houses related to Kama Bhav are 3, 7 and 11th house. And the Moksha Bhav is Moksha means liberation or enlightenment. So that's related to enlightenment. So 4th, 8th and 12th, 4th house, 8th house and 12th house is also related to Moksha Bhav. So in the previous slide we said that these 4th, 8th and 12th house are Dushisthana houses. So they give bad results. We said that, but that's mainly related to materialistic life. If you look into the materialistic side of things, they give bad results, like they give accidents, they give hospitalization, they give expenditure. But if you look into the spiritual side, they also denote some spiritual side of things, like they denote your emotion, they denote your peacefulness, they denote occult, they denote astrology, they denote meditation, spirituality, monastery, temples. So all those things are the hidden knowledge, intuition. All those things are also denoted by that, by these 3 houses, the Moksha Bhava houses. So because of that, they are categorized in the Moksha Bhava. So if planets are beneficial planets are in these 3 houses, then it can lead you towards spirituality and liberation. So yeah, that's all regarding the houses in Vedic astrology Jyotisha. I hope you liked this video, you found this video helpful. So yeah, if you found this video helpful, please like the video, comment in the video if you have any questions. You may share the video, and also please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.